Welcome back, people. Lateness is greatness. Welcome back to the building. Lee Gunner is back. And we're waiting on Corey. I don't know where he is yet, but when he turns up, we're going to add him into the stream. It's been a while. Just what I'm saying. It's been a week. Well, it's been 2 weeks without Lee. Lee, how are you doing, bro? Welcome back to the Carnage.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. My team ain't good, but I'm good.
And then Tobs as well, bro. Welcome back. Obviously, just fresh off securing the W at the weekend. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. My spirits are lifted, man.
Why can't I hear you, Tobs? Are you muted?
Can you not hear me? Can you hear me, Lee?
Can you hear him, Lee?
I can hear him fine.
Yeah. So only me and Tobs can't hear each other. I can hear Lee. Tobs can hear me.
Go out and come back in.
I'm going to come out and come back in. I'll allow you two to host the show until I come back.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gassed. I'm gassly. I see I'm gassed.
Right.
I'm delighted that we're in a better place now. I don't want to say we're in a good place yet because we're still sixth. Still need to navigate our way through the Europa League. Still got you lot on the weekend, and to be honest, the 3 wins we've had on the bounce, it's been against the 17th ranked team in the league, the 15th or 16th ranked team in the league, and then the 14th. So there are bigger tests to come, but it's good. It's good to see us actually playing with some gusto, man, with some proper attacking play, and it's actually good to see some of our better players performing, man.
Hashtag Bale back.
He is back.
He is back. He looks like he's on it.
Yeah, like when I said it at the beginning, I think I said it on Big Six. I was like a little bit tongue in cheek, but he has got quality. Like he is still a baller. I don't believe you just lose your quality, but he looked like he lost a yard of pace, and he was obviously very injury prone. And I was like, we'll see. But recently, I mean, he's back scoring headers again. He's back curling them into the far corner. I mean, if Tobesy continues in this vein to the end of the season, do you sign him permanently? Do you get another loan? Because the thing is with Bale is that he is, even if you sign him, he is a risk, right? He's only theoretically turned up for half the season, massive wages, and Tottenham, that are a club that are always financially a little bit stricken under Levy and don't really, ever flex their muscles in respect. Bale is quite a big investment for someone that's on the wrong side of 30.
Yeah, I get that, but with him, class is permanent. You get what I'm saying? Like, if a player's still got quality in them legs, and they can prove that quality, then you snap them up. And with Gareth Bale, I remember I said it last week, Matisse, to you. I said, right now, wasn't it? I think it was either last week or the week before. And I said, right at this point in time, even though he's doing well, I'm still not sold on whether we should get him or retain him back next season. And I don't want to get too carried away, but what I'm seeing now is brilliant from Gareth Bale. And without a doubt, if he can maintain a level similar to what he's showing us right now, from now through to the end of the season, then it's a no-brainer. You have to exercise that option to take him back in another year, because then he would have proven to you that he's still got the capability to win us games and to maintain a reasonable level of fitness. Nobody expects Gareth Bale to play every single minute, but with what he can manage, if he's performing the way he's performing right now, it's a no-brainer. You sign him up.
It's going to be interesting to see, because obviously we are winning a couple games in a row now. Are you guys back in the top 4 race? How do you feel about all of that, or are you just playing it as it goes along?
You have to take it one game at a time, but weirdly enough, it seems that we are back in the top 4 race. It's crazy. I look at the one sec. Let me even get up the table now, and that's literally all it takes. 2-3 wins. If you can put together 2-3 wins straight, then all of a sudden you're back in the race for top 4. Me personally, I don't think we're gonna get top 4. I think I still see us missing out, but it's good to see that we're gonna be competitive. It's good to see that this team aren't just gonna go down without a fight. I'm looking at the table now, so we're 5 points off you lot in 4th, Matisse, with a game in hand. We are 3 points behind West Ham, who were 9 points behind us 2 weeks ago when they beat us. We are 1 point behind Everton, who were a couple points in front of us a few weeks ago as well. I said West Ham were 9 points ahead of us a few weeks ago. So all of a sudden, the landscape has changed. So it's just a case of how we go on from now until the end of the season. Nothing is impossible. Yeah, Spurs could potentially get top 4. Mathematically, it's possible. Whether we will, I don't know. It remains to be seen. They need to convince us that they have the consistency between now and the end of the season, because it's going to be the case. It's literally going to be the case is who can fuck up the least. That's what the race for top 4 is now. Who can fuck up the least? Not a case of who
do
is the
you
best.
give Mourinho any credit for the recent games, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I like to be fair, man. apart from when it's Chelsea, big up Corey. Lateness is greatness, I guess.
yeah, exactly. I'm just doing what Matisse says. I was doing it.
No problem.
So, like, the thing is, apart from Chelsea, who I love to hate, I don't want Mourinho at the club, but I'm not gonna lie and not give him credit. Like, if we win 3 games straight and you keep a clean sheet in 2 out of those 3 games, and you're getting a tune out of Gareth Bale, you bringing back Ali into the fold. Fair enough. These are things that he should have been doing anyway, but you have to give him credit for it. You have to give him credit for it. The style of football we're playing in these games as well, going at teams from the off, playing on the front foot, taking more risk in possession, playing with a higher line. Yeah, I think you have to give him some sort of credit. And we're in the latter stages of the Europa League. Like you said, mathematically, we are now back into this top 4 race. So as much as we want to give the players credit, I think some credit has to go to the manager as well. So it's only fair.
Yeah, Lee, what have you made of all this? Because for me, it's quite interesting to see Bale actually, well, not even just Bale, but Tottenham scoring goals again. They're looking actually a threat on the attack. Before they were stifled and looking, starting to depress Toby to serious levels here. How do you feel about Tottenham? Obviously, as an Arsenal fan.
I said to Toby last night, I said the way they've handled Bale, I think, has been superb. We've had it with Thomas Partey where we're rushing him into a football match with no pre-season, and now he's been injured more times than he's ever been injured. Yeah. So the way they've handled Bale, I think, has been brilliant. It sets them up for the end of the season, knowing that they don't have to just rely on Kane and Son. They've got a 3rd player there now. And if they want to go deep in the Europa League, he's going to be a massive help for them. And they need to keep him fit, which he looks like he's fit and raring to go now. So he's banging goals. He's looking sharp again, man. As for Tottenham, listen, I said when they got Jose Mourinho, bruv, I wanted him. Yeah, I would have took him in a heartbeat. People get it twisted with Jose that he just parks the bus and it's boring crap football. Yeah, people forget Real Madrid still hold the record for most goals in La Liga in a season.
Yeah, it's true.
Jose was the manager. Yeah, Chelsea bagged goals for fun under Jose first time round. So people just have this, and same with Inter Milan. Inter Milan, people get it twisted because a lot of the people that watch football, social media wise, are of a younger generation to myself. So they're used to seeing the Arsene Wengers and the Barcelonas and all these pretty patterns. Yeah, people don't understand what good defending is these days, and Tottenham can defend. Hence why they got one of the best defenses in the league. Like, I know Toby, you watch them more than I do, but every time I see him, I think, yeah, you look solid. You're not getting run ragged. Yes, sometimes you don't create enough, but that comes, and it's coming now. And listen, you're going to finish 4th. I know you are. I've just got this sneaky feeling they're going to drop out.
I doubt it.
Okay, so what is your top 4 then?
Do you know what? It changes every day. Yesterday I said West Ham are getting it. Somebody asked me yesterday, I said West Ham, but I don't know. I've kind of took myself into Tottenham, like being top 4 now. Maybe they'll both get in and Chelsea will drop out. Who knows?
No chance.
That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Don't even try it. Chelsea, for me, after watching them against Everton, I think we're definitely going to get top 4 because we just look so comfortable now, like so resilient. Like he said a couple of weeks ago, he was making us hard to beat. And that's exactly what he's gone and done. He's told no lies in that. Like for Everton to only have 1 shot on target the whole game, Man United, the same thing. We kept clean sheets really throughout the whole run. That was quite difficult. Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, Man United. So for me, I think Chelsea, just because they're so hard to beat, we only have to really score 1 goal. And that usually gets us the win at this point. So I think we'll make top 4. I think Leicester are the team that everybody should be looking at as the ones that potentially will drop out. And I was actually hoping for Man United potentially as well, but they obviously just went and beat Man City, so it's a difficult one with them. I mean, Corey, you're out of the top 4 at the moment. You slipped down to 5th. How are you feeling? Obviously, you won your last game though, so
yeah.
you still giving yourself a chance, or how are you feeling with it?
Just got to keep the pressure on, mate. Just got to keep the pressure on. Like don't get me wrong, I was looking at the league table. I haven't looked at it pretty much all season.
Yeah.
And then you see the fact there's such a little gap.
No, there's no way.
No, I haven't. I swear.
No.
Only when we were fourth, because I knew we were going to slide back down. But I think you see Spurs creeping up with their games in hand. I think Everton still got a game in hand. I think that's exactly. So it's sort of par for the course. I think United's come at probably a bit of a dodgy time. And then we've got Arsenal, Wolves and Leicester. And really and truthfully, if you're going to even compete, you've got to be in and about there before we play Chelsea. And then maybe, but yeah, mate, we've just got to keep just focus on one game at a time and we'll see where we're at the end of the season.
Surely you must have taken a little glance at it and just taken
No,
a
of
picture.
course, I had a glance, but I wasn't going to get too involved because when you start getting into like games in hands and fixtures of other teams, I'm like, no, I can't do that because you start putting pressure and I think the players will feel it. And listen, we didn't play well the other day at all, like compared to what we're used to. So yeah, we've got a serious mentality going on there.
I was speaking to go on, Tobs.
I was going to say, I think anyone who can accurately predict who's going to finish second to fourth is either a fan of the club that they think is going to finish second to fourth, or is Mystic Meg, because I genuinely cannot predict it. People are people are so convinced that Man United are going to get top four.
Yeah,
and they pulled out a great result against Man City, but the Man United that I've watched the last 6-7 weeks, I can see that team dropping points in the next couple of weeks to come. Leicester have got all these.
Depends how far they go in Europa League as well, because if they go deep in Europa League, they'll probably concentrate more on trying to win that.
But that's the thing as well. They're playing Thursday, and then we've got them on Sunday. So that helps us out a little bit.
And it's not even just that. You got Leicester as well. Obviously, Matisse talking up Chelsea, etc. Yeah, things are going well for Chelsea, but you never know in this league.
It
pains me to say 9 games ago, Arsenal had just won the 2 points behind Chelsea trophy, bruv. Yeah. now you're 10, 12 points clear. Do you know what I'm saying?
Is it 12 points?
Don't get it twisted, Matisse. Like, I feel like Chelsea look the most solid right now and the most stable, but I just feel like the way the season's gone, expect the unexpected. Like, if I had to put money on a team to finish top 4, dead set now, with the squad, the way they're playing, I would actually say Chelsea. I would say Chelsea. But
come on, Toby. We know you love us.
No, but honestly, bro, anything can actually happen, bro. Anything can happen.
It's true.
Like, all I know for sure is that West Ham aren't finishing in the top 4.
No, come on, man. Behave yourself. You was 9 points behind a couple of weeks ago.
To be honest, I
don't
think Spurs will finish in the top 4, and I don't think West Ham will as well.
Do you know, to be fair...
We're not even in the conversation, so yeah, I'll just go.
Now, Spurs look a different prospect, I think they with Bale.
Giving West Ham their fair dues. I think we spoke last week, Corey. They were actually really the most informed team behind Man City for quite a while, maybe like a good couple of months.
Yeah.
And the thing is, West Ham, I think they're the only ones that don't have European football in this race as well. Leicester is still in Europa League, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
Manchester United are. Chelsea, are they out?
Yeah, they lost to Slavia Prague.
Oh yes, they checked it. Of course they did. That was an embarrassing one. They should have won that. I remember. Yeah. Okay, cool. But Leicester, even still, they've got injuries, and they do usually just fall by the wayside anyway. Everybody else is kind of involved in Europe.
Lee said something though that gives me small hope that maybe Spurs can do it, because Bale, Son, and Kane, like, it's a completely different proposition to just Son and Kane. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like from a Spurs perspective, we have renewed optimism that we have the capability to finish in the top 4 now. Whereas a couple weeks ago, it was like, it's done. We're not expecting anything from these players. But now that we have some of these players like Bale, possibly Ali, etc., that we can rely upon, maybe it's not maybe, it definitely increases our chances of getting top 4. But those chances, you just got to ask yourself, what are those chances before that increase? Because I still think it's going to be difficult for Spurs to finish 4th come game 38, man. I think it will be. I really think it will.
You never know. You guys have won 3 games in a row, and you're only 5 points behind with a game in hand as well. So you're never out of it with this. This is what I'm, with
if they beat us in the weekend, they're all on.
Yeah.
I think that'd give them a massive lift if they beat us.
Yeah, it'll give us a lift.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 3 wins on the bounce, so you are in decent form. I think the point I was making.
Go on.
I think just the point I was making with West Ham is I wouldn't discard them because of the form that they've been in so consistently for the last few months. I don't know. Like, for me, I feel like West Ham have been in form for quite a while, like for a good few months. If I'm mistaken, Corey, definitely jump in. But I don't know if it's because you guys, I'm struggling to remember if you had a slow start to the season or what it was, because you guys...
we were terrible first 2. Yeah, against Newcastle.
Because I'm thinking to myself, how are you guys where you are when I've just seen you, like, in the form table be up there?
Because what it is, mate, is there no, like, outstanding games where we just blitz teams. I think earlier in the season we beat, Leicester 3-0, Wolves 4-0, probably the only 2 that you can really think about. Other than that, we've just sort of crept along with West Brom, Burnley, but I think we've only lost, 2 games in 2 months. So I think we have sort of crept under the radar, but this season, if you're consistent, like you're seeing with Spurs, they've won 3 games on the bounce. Now all of a sudden everyone's saying they're up there. It's just about keeping consistency and beating the teams that you can. West Ham have done that. There's some crazy stats saying I think we're the worst team for beating other teams in the top 6, but we're the best in the other 14 sides. So that this season gets you where you're at. So you can't write us off.
Someone said Tobs is lively today. See what 3 wins can do to him.
I don't understand this. I deserve to be happy. Like, I'm not saying Spurs are gonna. I'm not even saying Spurs are gonna finish in the top 4. I'm just saying that our chances of finishing in the top 4 are better now than they were like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, they are. It's facts. I mean, when you go on a 3-game run, that's exactly what you expect to hear. I've saved the best till last in terms of addressing teams.
I can't remember the last time we've won 3 in a row.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to talk about Arsenal because obviously we missed you last week. You drew with Burnley, and then obviously you've got Tottenham at the weekend. Talk to us. How are you feeling right now? are you?
Oh man, I was hoping we were going to talk about other teams.
Talk to me about Granit Xhaka. That guy. Talk to me about him, please, Lee.
Bro, I've been telling everyone for years the love fest for this guy this season. He's now the new Mesut Ozil within our fan base. I don't get it. I just don't understand what these kids on social media are seeing. Like, I don't get it. The day he told everyone to fuck off, he should have been out the club. It's as simple as that. And if we had any backbone, we would have binned him. Instead, this manager came in, put an arm around him and told him he's part of his plans. And it's like, and the thing is, I see people say that you can't legislate for individual errors, but with him you can, because he's got the most in the league since he's been here. Yeah, so if you're consistently playing the guy, he's going to do that. You know, apparently today in his press conference, he said that, I haven't listened or watched it, but I'll see a little snippet of it earlier, saying that within the way he wants to play out from the back, you know, he doesn't accept it, but he kind of gets that there's going to be mistakes. Well, I'm sorry, mate, that ain't good enough. We have got a couple of players in that team that shouldn't be anywhere near Premier League football. Yeah, Bellerin and Xhaka, they're awful, man. Absolutely awful. And, you know, people have been banging on about, oh, yeah, the goal, it was 4 passes and Aubameyang scored. Whoopee. We were doing that under Emery at times. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's coming in and rewriting the wheel. Like, he's not doing anything that we weren't already seeing before.
But do you blame Arteta for that game, or do you blame Xhaka? Because at the end of the day, it was an individual error, I guess, that led to the goal.
Who picked him?
True.
And people will sit there and say, oh, but he's been good the last 6 weeks. Yeah, he's gone back to the level he was when we signed him, which weren't good enough.
People always seem to do that with these players like Xhaka, and we have a few at Chelsea.
It's always the mediocre ones, man.
It's like people seem to get sucked in for a little bit of form and forget the actual foundations of the player that they've known for years and say, oh, maybe they've turned a new leaf. Tiger don't change his stripes. Like, for me, Xhaka is so error prone, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like eight errors, and
listen to this. Right? This is the kind of crap you see online. Yeah, the importance of Granit Xhaka in Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, a thread. Right, build up play, playing out from the back, an essential part of how most teams begin their attacks. Yeah, the whole point is to draw the opposition onto you and then play past the press. It then shows pitch, like, it just goes on, and this thread goes on for about 30 pages, mate. Yeah, and it's just like, if you have to do that to convince yourself a player is good, then he's clearly not good enough. Yeah, because I've got eyes and I've seen proper footballers at my club. Granit Xhaka ain't even a Premier League standard footballer. Yeah, it looks pretty and great over in Germany, spraying them 60-yard diags everywhere. No, mate, go back to Germany, because this league is completely different. And I just see a clip earlier of the 5-1 against Bayern Munich. I see the highlights or lowlights for us. And it was our last ever Champions League game, right? And we got
That was your last
5-1.
one? That was a while ago.
That was years ago, bro. That was the last Champions League game we had, yeah?
My twin brother and my friend went to that one as well, and they witnessed your team get slapped live in the flesh in the
15-3 over 3 games. It's mad. It's like, it's unbelievable. But in that game, Granit Xhaka, one of their goals, I think it was Costa's goal, Granit Xhaka goes charging in on the halfway line, slide tackles, takes the guy clean out, but they played the advantage and Costa scored from it. He's still doing that now.
Yeah.
Yeah? So what has he learned in 4 or 5 years being here? What has he learned from Arsene Wenger, from Unai Emery, and from Arteta? Yeah, people are sitting there and say, oh, but he's less errors now. He's still causing goals. It's still, you know, that errors leading to goals is 8. Yeah, I guarantee if you count how many free kicks he's given away that have then led to a corner and then led to a goal, yeah, or a free kick that's led to another free kick, which has then led to a goal, I guarantee it's more. And that's because he's a liability all the time. You know, he's got no pace. He can't dribble. He can't defend. He don't know where he is on a football pitch. He don't score. He don't create. What does he fucking do?
I mean, every time he does get that odd occasional long shot, then, you know, Arsenal fans seem to wrap themselves around him again.
I fucking cringe. That's up there with
the thing is with Xhaka as well, it's not just the ability for me before I let Tobs go as well. It's not just the ability, it's the relationship with the fans, which I think is just not going to be able to be built back. When he played against Chelsea and he had that win, he came out in the press and he started talking himself up and, you know,
I do my talking
and and he started patting himself on the back.
You remember we spoke about that on the Big Six Matisse and how he
and I said to myself, it's a bit early for that, you know.
Yeah, since then he's cocked up against Benfica, Leicester, and Burnley. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. The guy's arrogance is just ridiculous. The guy, he's got one of them smug faces. Yeah, you just want to, like, I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm getting at. Yeah, you just like get a wet fish out and just batter him with it or something. I don't know. Like it's just. I just don't like him. I don't like him as a footballer. I don't like his arrogance. He seems to think he's Pirlo. Yeah, and I'd rather have Guendouzi in midfield, if I'm honest. At least he's got a bit more about his game.
Yeah, he's gone now, isn't he, after all the stuff that
happened? Another one that this manager's ruined.
Tobs and then Corey, I mean, what do you make of Xhaka and just Arsenal in general after that performance? How much blame do you apportion to the manager and then the individual? Because it's difficult, because obviously Arteta, for me, again, is not really the most qualified, or it's very clear for me, he's not the most qualified. That's, everybody else should be able to see that. He's not the most qualified for the job, but at the same time...
Oh, I've lost Matisse.
Yeah, same. I can't hear it.
I can't hear you,
Matisse.
Honestly
block them.
Okay, no, we can hear you now. We can hear you now.
They just think they could just ring your number whenever they want. I'm going to block Vodafone, I'm telling you.
Stick your phone on Do Not Disturb.
Huh?
Stick your phone on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, put it on Do Not Disturb.
But when it comes to the manager versus the individual mistakes, what percentage, Toby, are you apportioning blame here?
It's both, because he had the opportunity. I get it. Arsenal, he was cutthroat in getting rid of Torreira and Guendouzi in the summer, and I think he was justified in getting rid of both because he needed more steel and more consistency in midfield. But yet you do all that and you keep Granit Xhaka. You decided to make Granit Xhaka a linchpin in this midfield. I felt like, even though Arsenal don't have the funds, they should a player who is a constant liability. They should have been doing all they can to get rid of him for months now. And the fact that he not only has a manager who didn't up to get rid of him, but chose to publicly back him and play him in all these matches, I think Arteta needs to take some blame for that. But I also think, as a manager, you cannot legislate for individual errors. And Granit Xhaka is a clown. He's a clown.
The way that you said that, the emphasis.
He's a clown. He's a clown. Let's be real. He's been all his passing stats and his ball progression. It won't fool me. I've been saying this to my twin brother for years. This guy's a clown. Because whatever, no matter how well he's playing, he's always going to cost you mistakes. And when you have a player in that team who's going to cost you mistakes, you get rid of them. So for me, there's blame on both sides. The manager can't legislate for players making errors, but then the manager is responsible for picking those players, putting trust behind those players, and giving them the confidence to play in this team. he shouldn't be in the setup. He shouldn't be in the squad at all, and yet he's here. So whether that's down to the manager making those decisions, whether that's down to the board saying we can't sell him because we need X, Y, and Z, something needs to be done.
I mean, Corey, because we're in a situation now in the London Clubs Carnage where we've got Chelsea obviously have leapfrogged Arsenal in the last decade. You know, Tottenham now are starting to finish ahead of Arsenal on a semi-regular basis, and you know they are in the Champions League a lot more often. West Ham, how do you feel? Are you potentially looking at Arsenal and saying to yourself, this could be a consistent... Leah's going to lose it.
Yeah, you're just trying to wind him up. Yeah, look,
I'm going to make a cup of tea. I'll be back in a minute. I'm not even
You're
joking.
2 points off 40 points, Lee. 2 points. Go on,
Yeah,
Corey.
bye. I'll be back in 1 minute. I'm going to make a cup of tea.
Nah,
Go on,
look,
Corey.
Arsenal got some serious problems. The Xhaka point is an interesting one because I think the reason why he gets shielded and why some Arsenal fans, give him sort of a bit of credit is because of the way Arteta will get him to slide into almost that like making a back three. But what you're doing is, and West Ham have done it this season, you're actually minimising the sort of the negative effect of Xhaka. And obviously you saw that on Saturday where he's making that ridiculous error. I still don't get it. Some people are trying to blame Leno for it. For the life of me, anyone that's played football, he can see he's got the line of sight on Chris Wood. He's in the box and he's trying to play it round him. And I think, I don't know how old Xhaka is. What, let's say 25, 26.
No.
He's older. He's at 20.
Let's not give him those kind of.
29. He's been. This will be 5 years.
If he's 29,
he's at 29. This will be like he's at 28, 29. This will be like 5 years.
Is 28, 29.
See, no. See, look, you cannot do that. I couldn't even really excuse it, to be fair, if you were 21, 22 and you're playing in that position. You've got to have, and I think the point is, if you're making the amount of errors that he's made this season and he's culpable, I think beforehand you've got the discipline that I think Arteta somehow managed to get out of him. Again, he's a walking red card. Arsenal are such a strange one because they can't play how Arteta wants to play, but equally Arteta, I'm not sure about the mentality of some of those players. But first 30 minutes against Burnley, they're willing to play on the half turn and they're creating chances. You're thinking, oh, hang on a minute. And then all of a sudden they just stop. And in a minute, and the second half, there's no urgency. There's no, let's try and create something until the last 10. And that has to come from the manager and it also has to come from the players. I mean, it's such a strange situation. And you've got players kicking around there like Saka, who's a fantastic player, Aubameyang, Lacazette, good players. But the squad overall in the first team, it's just not good enough. And coming from a West Ham fan, you need all 11 players to be on it to compete. You can't just rely on one or two to dig you up.
I'm starting to think, that even Mark Noble potentially gets to slip with Phil. Because I'm not joking. Because
I'm just on a wind up today, isn't it?
He wouldn't make that error. He wouldn't make that error.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not even trying to take the piss. The amount of times I've looked at Arsenal's
midfield, scored more goals as well.
Party, and then who goes next to Party? Like who do I rate that you can play next to Party? And the answer really is nobody. If I'm being honest, someone just says there Party's was awful against Burnley. I mean, Lee, what do you make of that? Because for me, you're taking a player that was at Atletico Madrid. That are now top of the league. He's been world class over the last few seasons, and you've made him potentially look like dog shit. I'm not happy.
So we're the only team in the world that could have signed Party, and our midfield's got worse.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like the first half an hour, he was superb.
Yeah.
After that, disappeared. Yeah, absolutely shocking performance in that second half. And do you know what the worst thing is? Yeah, right. We needed a goal. We're in the 94th minute, and our two centre backs are 40 yards out, passing it between each other. I was going mad. I was like, to me, to you, I said, is this fucking Chuckle Brothers FC or something? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like they were just tippy-tapping it to. I'm like, get it in the box. It's like, it's so frustrating, man. Can you see how angry I get when I talk about Arsenal? I'm chill with other teams, bro. As soon as I talk about my club, I just get the ump. Because I can see that he's ruined this squad, and he's not ruined all of them. Listen, Saka was always going to be a good player, and I think he's doing fantastic, but he was doing fantastic under Emery, so this ain't nothing new, He's scoring more now, fair play to him, and maybe that's because Arteta's found the right position for him, I don't know, because he was playing on the left last season, right this season, but he's killed Aubameyang and Lacazette. They scored 71, they got 71 goals and assists under Emery, and they played week in, week out together, so why can't he get them to do that? Right? And that's because he wants to play defensive. He doesn't want to cross the halfway line, and he wants to. I don't know what he wants to do, if I'm being honest, because I can't see a style of play in 18 months nearly. It's like 15, 16 months he's been here. Bellerin's an inverted fullback. What's that all about? go and overlap, mate. Because as soon as we have Cedric in there, Pepe looks a different player.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Because every time Bellerin's coming in, well, that's where Pepe wants to be. So he can whip it with his left. As soon as he's got Cedric running over him, that takes a defender out and he can come in and do that. Yeah. And it's no coincidence that every time Pepe plays with an overlapping fullback, he has a good game. You know, then midfield, he got rid of Guendouzi. I thought he was quality. I would have kept him. He can dribble, he can pass, he can score, he can create.
Overrated.
Fouls on the edge of the box.
Overrated.
Yeah, he is overrated, but his level's above Granit Xhaka.
Yeah, but for me, that's not justification to keep him. I think you should have got rid of both. And well, you could have had Guendouzi for depth, maybe. Yeah, you're right. You know what? Let me not stop.
Guendouzi walks into that starting 11 for me. Yeah, Torreira walks into that starting 11 for me. Yeah, and you know, people can bang on about. I think you said it last night that he's a midget or something. You know, you say he's just a 5'5" midget or something.
I like Torreira. That's the thing. I actually
I like Torreira.
But he just for me with Torreira, like I remember that game where he was dominant against us in the 4-2. But with Torreira, at times he became what I saw in Italy and what I saw for Uruguay was a tough tackling midfielder who could break up play and could move the ball forward. And the more I watched him at Arsenal, the less impact he had on games. Like there were many games where I felt like he wasn't doing enough defensively, and when he was in possession, he wasn't doing enough as well. So I have no qualms with Arsenal even thinking they wanted to get rid of Guendouzi or Torreira, but you can't be going into a season with Granit Xhaka, El Neni as two genuine midfield options.
El Neni has played more game time than Willian this season, I think, and more than Lacazette. That's just baffling. Like, is this 2016 all over again or something? Like, it's just pathetic. And that's another one he begged to stay. And if you look at the players we've let go, with Martinez, that was a joke. I can't believe he sold him. Joe Willock's on loan. Don't think he's all that, but I'd still have him in over Danny Ceballos. He's got more about his game than Danny Ceballos. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I'd rather have him at right back, although he don't want to play right back. He could still do better than most of that midfield. Torreira, Guendouzi. Like, look at our midfield now, and then look at the names I just put there. They're not massively great names. Some of them are overrated, but it's still a better four in midfield than the four we've got now, which includes Thomas Partey. And it's like, you know, defense. This is why I don't like it. I didn't want this manager from the get-go, and like I put my neck on the line and I've been abused non-stop ever since.
I have to ask, if I know it's hypothetical because it's not going to happen, because I keep telling Arsenal the main problem is Stan Kroenke. But if he was to
I disagree with that. Totally disagree.
You don't think the main issue is Stan Kroenke anymore?
The main issue with this football club's the fans, mate. Yeah, because it's been infested by a load of kids that have never seen us win anything.
But the fans don't really have any
on the train when Wenger was here. Yeah, and thought, oh, pretty football, but don't win nothing. That's the standards now. When he come out and said fourth is a trophy, that was the day this club was finished.
But do the fans have as much control as you think they do, though?
They don't, not in my opinion.
If we had fans at the stadium this season, he would have been sacked. Yeah, when we lost to Frankfurt, the clock end were all jumping up and down, yeah, cheering the Frankfurt goal because Emery was getting sacked. Yeah, how many times did our fans boo Arsene Wenger? Yeah, boo results and stuff like that.
So you think
hold on. So you 3-0 against Villa at home. Yeah, 3-0 against Villa at home. That was the first time since 1928 that Villa had scored 3 or more or beat us by 3 or more at home. Yeah, we lost to Wolves first time since 79 or 74, I think. No, that was Burnley 74. Yeah, Leicester 73. Yeah, 1958 was another record he broke. Yeah, for 4 straight home losses. He was one Aubameyang goal away from making that his own record of 5 against Southampton. Yeah, the geezer's a clown. He's out of his depth. And go on.
So do you think the matchgoers would have had it? So you're saying the matchgoers would have had him sacked by now, but the online,
100%.
The support from the online fan base.
After the 3-0 against Aston Villa, he would have been potted. Yeah, he would have been potted. 100%.
Okay, it's interesting
because the fans didn't continue to turn up under Wenger, right? This was our most successful manager, booed out of the ground every week, yeah, and fans not bothering to turn up. When we played against Man City, there was 20,000 in the ground, yeah. They went 2-0 up against us, and 10,000 of them, including the geezer in front of me, who was the most biggest Wenger in I've ever seen in my life. This old fella, yeah. Even he walked out, and I said, "Where you going, mate?" I was proper like, where you going, mate? So what, you're ditching your manager, yeah? And 10,000 of that 20,000 that bothered to turn up left. After that, that was about, I think 6 games later, he announced he was leaving. Yeah, because he was told, you're getting sacked, mate, or fuck off. Yeah, Unai Emery, yeah, the fans were booing, and then cheering the opposition goals. Yeah, they would have got him sacked. It's all well and good, these kids that sit on social media and want to chat shit about Xhaka and Arteta. Yeah, that's all well and good. That's cool. If fans are in that ground this season, he wouldn't have been our manager.
If you're bored,
go on, please.
Just quickly, if your board are basing their long-term future on what your online fans think, I think that is very naive and stupid, because I take it and flip it for Chelsea. If Roman Abramovich or Mourinho or any of our guys was looking at social media and saying, oh, Frank Lampard's a legend, they want to give him as much time as possible. What? Yeah,
it works both ways though, because listen, the match going fan is probably 1% of the fan base, probably less than that in some clubs like ours. Yeah, like for Man United, they've got what, nearly 1 billion supporters globally. How many turn up at the game? 70,000. Yeah, so it's probably 0.1 or 0.3% Man United fans actually go. So they have to have their social media teams to look at what's going on online. Yeah, which every big club does, and I'm sure all the smaller ones do as well. But you know, at the end of the day, you said about Stan Kroenke, right? It's being the problem. Stan Kroenke has spent 300 million quid, not out of his own pocket, but that's not what we wanted as a football club when we moved stadium. Oh, we didn't want to be Chelsea with a sugar daddy. Yeah, but now people have realised, oh, you actually have to have a sugar daddy. Yeah, otherwise you like Sheikh Mansour or like Roman. The difference is, yeah, our fans just, every time there is a run of bad results, it's the owner's fault. It's the owner's fault. No, it ain't the owner's fault. The owner ain't picking Bellerin at right back every week. Yeah, the owner ain't picking the substitutes or the tactics. The owner ain't saying to everyone, "Oh, don't just defend. Don't bother going forward. We'll kill Aubameyang off."
Yeah, but Lee, don't you think whenever shit goes south for a club, it can't just be one thing. So I hear what you're saying about the fans, but I don't think you can just solely look at
no, I get what you're saying, Toby, but the thing is, people say that like the owner's the problem because he don't spend.
It's the truth though, he doesn't spend.
Absolute bollocks. We got the second highest net spend in Europe in the last 3 years. Only Man United have beaten us on that. If you want to go down the gross route, yeah, we've spent more gross than any team in this league in the last 3 years.
But Lee, again, this is
chat to us about that.
And this is what I was trying to say. When they talk about the board at Arsenal, it's clear to see in the last 10 years, there has been a distinct lack of investment from the top down in terms of pumping money into Arsenal Football Club.
Arsenal, I disagree with that. Before Mesut Ozil left, we had the most expensive front four in the Premier League. So
but again, that's money. That's money that you're generating, though. That's not money that he's.
No. But hang on. That's what every football club's supposed to be doing. The self-sufficient model.
Okay, but self-sufficient. You just agreed self-sufficient.
But Lee, that's the point I'm trying to make.
Spend his own money.
But that's the point I'm trying to make. You were still competing. You were still in a position where you could do something, and all it took was a little bit more investment, and you didn't have that. And yet you have
we did have it, but the manager that we had at the time run that club from top to bottom. Yeah. So that's a big factor in it, because he openly admits he used to sit and do contracts with the players that he was signing. Well, that's not your job, Arsene.
But Lee, that's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to make. Whenever shit goes south, it's not just one issue. The board, there's whether you like it or not, there's a discussion to be had on the lack of investment from the top. There's a discussion to be had on the misuse of funds, because we know Arsenal have spent a lot of money in the last 5 years. 52 million on Lacazette, 35 million on Xhaka, 35 million on Mustafi, etc., etc. The list goes on. So we know you spent money like 20 million on Socrates, etc. So you lot have had money to spend, and you spent it poorly. But what I'm saying is
the players that we've let go for nothing. Ramsey.
But Lee, that's what I'm trying to say. The whole club is a mess. Your player recruitment is poor.
Yeah, but that's where I take issue with it, though, Toby, is because yes, it is a mess, yeah. But Stan Kroenke was officially the full owner of this football club 18 months ago, and in that time, he spent more money than any football club in the world. So people can chat about the owner all they like. Yeah, he's took the money out of the club's funds and said, there you go. When we signed Thomas Partey, everyone was giving it all that. Yeah, well done, mate, because he's took it out of his own money. What a load of bollocks. It was in the club's money anyway. And check their accounts. Yeah, but the way it was portrayed by the puppet journalist that we have at Arsenal was Stan Kroenke gave us the extra 45 million for that. Yeah, the thing is, I personally don't like him. I'd rather we had somebody like a Sheikh Mansour or a Roman Abramovich. But the fact and reality is that we misspend our money. And that is because we've got fucking rookies in charge.
Yeah, Lee, you do misspend your money, but you also have an owner who is not interested in your club to the extent that an owner should be interested in a football club. That one is clear to see. It's as clear as day.
Okay, no, hold up. Your owner, when was the last time he went to a football match?
Who? What? Joe Lewis?
Yeah, he lives on a yacht in the Caribbean. So just because he...
Daniel Levy's there every week, though. Daniel Levy's also owner of the club. He owns,
no, that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant, though, because Daniel Levy and Enoch they're one and the same.
It's irrelevant. The owner of Tottenham Football Club is Joe Lewis, and he lives on a yacht in the Caribbean.
But Lee, that's the point. That's literally the point I'm trying to make.
No, he don't, because he lets somebody else do it, which is why he's the owner. Yeah, he's paying millions to Levy to do it. Yeah, who's then paying millions to somebody below him to do other jobs. Yeah, which is the same as our owner. People have this, and I'm not having a dig at you about it, but people seem to think that if the owner turns up at games, he cares. Go and ask Newcastle.
Turning up at games, though, it's not about turning up
just because he goes every week. You don't mean you care.
Lee, it's not about turning up at games. It's about putting your money where your mouth is. He owns more than one sporting.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with Arsenal? Just because he's a multi-billionaire and he owns 7 different businesses, what's that got to do with Arsenal?
I think what Toby's getting at here is that
he owns Arsenal Football Club and we're running it how we want it.
Because he owns your club and your club doing well. Your club doing well is only going to be a positive for him. So in the long run, it is beneficial for him to invest into the club.
No. Somebody made a great point to me the other day, right? If you had to spend £200 million to win the title, or you only had to spend £60 million to get top 4, which would give you probably about 40 million quid less. Yeah, probably not even that, probably 25 million quid less. Would you do the extra 140 every year? You wouldn't, would you?
So this is what we're saying. Is he a problem because his main interest is not your football club, which is obviously very, very clear because he's clearly got other ventures in America that he's more interested in. That's obvious as hell. Yeah. And then on top of that as well, he's not willing to spend the money to take Arsenal back to where you want to see them. You want to see Arsenal winning titles. You say that every single time I see you on the show. So your owner doesn't represent the expectations that you want to see. I think that's what Toby's getting at. The fact that you won't be able to reach the pinnacle under him.
At the same time, the amount of money we've spent, I've got it up here, yeah? In the last 3 years net, Chelsea 140 million. Man United 250 million. Man City 204. Yeah, hold up. Arsenal 243, the most in the league. Tottenham 159. They've done more than Chelsea, and they've done more than Liverpool 134. So if we've got a 243 net in the last 3 years, yeah, why the fuck are we still bouncing around with El Neni in the squad?
All right,
and Bellerin and Xhaka? That's not the owner.
Because of course, and that's the point being made. The owner is not the sole fall guy, but there are issues from the top down, and that's ownership, that's player recruitment, that's player identification, which is where you get yourself into the mess, spending all that money and you're still 10th. It's a bunch of issues, and then you've got the management as well.
The easiest way to solve that problem then is for the fans to pull their finger out their arse and actually demand more then, because if the owner's not going to stick it on the board, then the fans have to, right?
Yeah, but the fans, I think the fans are. I think your fans are sticking it on the owners, sticking it on the manager.
You even said to me yesterday, you were sick and tired of seeing trust the process.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, and it's not even your club.
But the owner's responsibility. The owner's responsibility is not just to throw in money as a transfer budget. That's not all he has to do. He has to hire the manager. The manager that you want out, he hires.
No, he doesn't hire the manager. The owner's not hiring the manager.
Okay, so hold on. He employs the people that make the decision to hire Arteta.
Let me ask you this, right?
That shows a lack of due diligence.
Does Roman Abramovich sit down and have the conversation with the guy and employ him, or is it Maria or somebody else?
The buck starts from the top, Lee, because if you employ the people who use their brains to employ Mikel Arteta, surely the people you've employed are wrong as well.
So all of the people that are in positions of power at this football club have finished before Stan Kroenke. So now what?
I'm just saying that you only started.
I can't believe we're talking about Arsenal.
He's the director.
We're still talking about a team who are 10th.
Exactly. The money that you spend in the money that you spend in the last 3 years.
The owner's not the
For
biggest
me,
issue.
you've spent it
It's an
too
issue.
late.
It's the biggest issue.
The owner is an issue. It is an issue.
It is because you spent the money too late. You're talking about the last 3 years net spend.
Yep.
What about the years before that?
You started
Yeah.
to spend money as you crashed out of the Champions League consistently, and now you're in the Europa League. Now your owner's like,
no, we started to spend money. No. Hold up. We started to spend money. Matisse, we started to spend money as soon as Wenger fucking left. Yeah,
No, you spend you spend. Let's have it right. You were spending money in Wenger's last 2-3 years at the club. Mesut Ozil 42 million. Alexis Sanchez 35 million.
That wasn't big dough when you were going and doing 90s on Pogba and 60s on Lukaku. Come on.
This was before. This was before Pogba and Lukaku, though. This was before Pogba and Lukaku.
Mesut Ozil was our record signing at the time.
Yeah, 2013.
10 million quid less. Yeah, so there's 80 million quid, let's say, yeah? 80 million, right? Who else in that team then cost dough? From that team? Santi Cazorla was cheap. Monreal was cheap. Koscielny was cheap. Mustafi and Xhaka, fair enough, 35.
Cazorla cost around 20 million.
So we had Welbeck was 16 million and Giroud was 12 million. They're not exactly ripping the world apart, are we? With big dough signings.
That's the point we're trying to make. That's what Matisse said.
As soon as Wenger left, we now started spending money. Coincidence or what?
Yeah, but
it's definitely a coincidence that as soon as the money income from the games, obviously not playing Champions League and maybe now not even qualifying for Europa League via the league, suddenly the money starts turning up a little bit.
Exactly. We've always had the money. We've always had the money.
You say you've always had the money. If you've always had the money, why did you need to sell Van Persie? Why did you need to sell? Why did you need to sell? Why did you need to sell? Why did you need to sell Alex Lee, honestly, if you had the money to spend, why did you constantly need to sell your better players in the team?
Right,
because you ran poorly. I'm going
to nip this in the bud, right? Gary Neville sat on Sky Sports and said, "Oh, it's such a shame that Arsenal had to sell this player to pay for the stadium." Yeah, because that is what Arsene Wenger was telling everyone. Oh, we have to sell him to pay for the stadium. Stan Kroenke, this big bad owner of ours, paid the stadium 240 million debt off about a year ago. Yeah, and put it into a new debt with a cheaper interest rate that we owe to him whenever he wants his money. Yeah, so we now don't owe Barclays the money because he paid Barclays off and paid all the charges on top.
Where was this all those years ago, though? That's the point.
No, and this is my point on Arsene Wenger. Yeah, we didn't need to sell Van Persie, but we never offered him a contract. We didn't need to sell him. He didn't get offered a deal. He said it on BBC Sport. If
Lee, and this is what I'm saying. If you hadn't sold him, he would have left on a free transfer the next year.
You only get me on this channel.
Okay, but he said a lack of ambition. He said a lack of ambition is why he left. There was a period where Arsenal had Fabregas, Song, Van Persie, Nasri, Adebayo, all these names. If your owner was not a consistent issue, why did he not invest in the team?
Because he wasn't the owner. He wasn't the owner. He weren't even majority shareholder then.
So what? That was when you still had Moshiri.
Well, no, he came into Arsenal in 2007. Yeah, with 9.9% stake in the football club. Yeah. 9.9% stake. He's then upped his stake. Yeah, and then Usmanov tried to buy his share out.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the end,
what year did he get majority?
To him. Huh?
What year did he get majority?
Majority must have been, I don't know, maybe 2013, 2014.
Lee, when I say ownership as well, I don't just mean just pumping money into the club. I also mean putting the right people in the club to make the right decisions. How many years have Arsenal lost due to poor decision making when dealing with players, contract situation, dealing with the direction the club want to go with in terms of players they want to sign, dealing with basic things that a properly ran football club should be dealing with. And that goes from the top down. That goes from the top down. Fans can't do anything about that. So when we're talking about ownership, we're talking about ownership in the club in the sense of how they manage the players, how they manage everything at board level, in addition to the investment. And it's all been done poorly. And the issues start from the top and they make their way down. It always starts from the top.
I totally understand that, but this is where I have an issue with it. Is the fact that for me, this club knew what they were doing before we even moved to this stadium. Stan Kroenke weren't even thought of. Yeah, we moved to the stadium to apparently compete with the best in the world. Well, we were doing that. We didn't move here to compete with anyone. We moved here to fleece a global market. That's all we've moved here for. Yeah, that's all we've moved here for. Yeah, and the fact is, we do spend a hell of a lot of money. Yes, we spend it on the wrong things. To sit there and reel off Alexis Sanchez and players like that. Listen, Wenger's openly admitted that he fucking employed his own boss, Gazidis. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they were all in it together, mate. They've now gone. Yeah, and we've now got an owner that, yes, doesn't care. But I don't give a shit whether he cares. I just want us to win. And we ain't going to win with this manager. So for me, you can't sack the owner. Yeah, because he ain't going. Unless somebody's got £2.5 billion or whatever it's going to cost, he ain't going anywhere.
Okay, so I have to ask then, do you think you can win with this manager?
With this manager?
With this owner. Do you think you can win?
Well, we have. We've won 4 FA Cups since he's been here.
No, I'm not talking about FA Cups.
No, we've still won 4 FA Cups.
I'm talking about the big...
The trophies that you want, Lee.
Yeah, the trophies that you want.
Yeah, the league title
the trophies that you really want. Mediocrity.
If Arsene Wenger, and I know it's ifs, buts and maybes and all that bollocks, right? If Arsene Wenger hadn't have just gone and bought Petr Cech, yeah, if he hadn't have just gone and bought Petr Cech, we would have won it the season Leicester won it. Yeah. If Eduardo, hadn't have got injured in 08-09, we would have won it that season as well because we were flying.
Disagree.
No?
I don't know. I don't do
look at you saying that with a smile as well.
Disagree.
I don't do if, buts, and maybes. Only absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
even hypotheticals.
With this management, i.e., the owner, Vinay, Edu, and Arteta, no. We need to get rid of the 3 below the owner and go and put David O'Leary in charge where Vinay is. Go and get Mark Overmars as technical director, and then go and get Ancelotti as manager.
Yeah, the thing is, Lee's right. I think the managerial appointments just aren't correct. I don't think Emery coming off the back of a loss in League One is gonna do anything. And even then, you look at the different levels of manager. Yeah, you won the Europa League, but at the time Arsenal was still in and around the Champions League. And then you bring in Arteta, who for me looks more of a coach in terms of the way that he plays. He's all trying to play triangles and angles and getting out of tight spaces, but tactically, I just don't think he's there. So the problem is now, Lee, you've fallen that far that when Toby's talking about getting an owner and it's going to actually throw money, you almost have to throw a lot of money at it now and get a proper manager in to get up to that top 4 because the gap is just getting so big. And you can't. It's so hard to compete with a Man City because they invest every single year. Chelsea, like we're seeing now, you've got a proper manager in, but your squad is unreal. And you've got squad depth all over the place. So I think whoever's making the decisions at Arsenal...
both of them. That's my point. We've outspent both of them. Yeah,
but I think it's who's in charge though.
It's not just spending, isn't it? That's what we're saying. It's the management.
No, I know it's not. But we've outspent with personnel on the pitch. We've outspent Man City with personnel on the pitch in the last 3 seasons. Yeah, so I get your point, Corey. 100% spot on. Yeah, but if we had a manager that had been here for them 3 years, let's say Unai Emery had been the manager for the 3 seasons. Yeah, would we be in a better position than we are now with Arteta? I personally think we would. Yeah, he wanted Thomas Partey in the first place, and he got served up Lucas Torreira. Come on, if we had Thomas Partey, we would have got top 4. He'd probably still be manager. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, this is where I get the ump. It's like, get rid of Edu. The geezer don't know what he's doing. Just because you fucking won this invincible title, mate, so did Pascal Segan. Yeah, who gives a shit? Yeah? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like,
it's nowhere on the same level, don't get me wrong. But when Pellegrini come to West Ham, they gave him 100 mil in the summer to spend. And ever since he left, we've had to change everything because that squad just wasn't. And I think that's the problem with Arsenal where, again, the manager, he's not the right quality. And then you're throwing money at it to try and get something. It doesn't work. Then you've got to change it again. You got to stick. Whoever's running it has to have a certain strategy and keep with it. And I know we don't want to go on about processes, but I think you've got to have a guy that's been there and done it. Really, Ancelotti's the one for me.
The word process is just like Arsenal.
Can you see how angry and emotional I get when you ask me about Arsenal? Just don't ask me about Arsenal anymore.
If I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't want to hear the word process ever again because I've been seeing process
because it's been done horrifically. That's why. It's been done so poorly. It's not like Liverpool when they had to go through their process with Klopp, but they knew that if they got to the 3rd year, then they would be. But there's no evidence with Arteta that he's ever going to get to that point.
I think in modern day football, that is why you don't ever really allow the manager to make the sole decisions with the signings and the new players coming in and just give them a war chest to spend and just buy whoever they want and not in regards to the long-term strategy of the club. Because then if they do flop, like you're saying at West Ham, you have to rip it up and get a whole new team. There was a situation, now that we're on boards as well, there was a situation, I swear, where West Ham fans weren't too pleased with your board. What was that all about, and how
they're still on the pitch?
Still going on, isn't it?
Still, mate, yeah. Like we have the worst squad depth in the league. For me, we've got 2 goalkeepers on every single. Not at all, man. Not at all. There was protest before. I think it was on the last ever home game, and there's still talks that they'll do it after. Because we're here because I don't know how Moyes has done it, but he's galvanised the squad. And fair enough, we've got some good players. But there's no. We talk about recruitment strategy for Arsenal. We've got very lucky. Souček come in, absolute steal. Kufra come in, brilliant. You know, Craig Dawson from Watford. No one would have touched him with a barge pole, including me. And he's come in, and Moyes has got a squad of players that he can get, and it fits Jarrod Bowen, Ben Rama. So it's all down to Moyes. It's got nothing to do with the board whatsoever. And the state of the club behind the scenes, we don't own the ground. We've got no training ground. It's like a load of porta cabins. We haven't got any investment. If we get into Europe, people are saying, "Oh, I don't want to get into Europe just in case we can't compete." But at the end of the day, that's the worry. We go there and we've got like a threadbare squad. But as a West Ham fan, I just want to get in there because we should be looking forward to getting a European place, not sitting there going, "Oh, we'll go out in the first round." So there's still problems, man. And I think the resolve is when a club comes in for Declan Rice or a Souček or a player like that, and see what they do with that. Because I think they come out in the week and said, "Oh, Declan's worth 100 mil," and Moyes is going, "Well, he's priceless. I don't want to sell him at all." So you can tell there's that kind of, and they did it before with Dean Garner. Sold him 20 mil, he didn't want to go, and then he got Ben Rama in that he didn't really want. So
the thing is with West Ham is that Declan's not going to sign a new contract, so you're at a situation where you may value him at 100 mil, but if you, when does this contract end?
He's got. I think he signed a 4-year deal, maybe a year ago, maybe 5. It'll be on a fact. It's interesting now because Fabianski's just signed a 1-year deal, and obviously Noble signed it the other day. And I think if you're going to give Declan Rice a deal,
he's leaving in the season.
Cut you off, yeah? Just listen to the names you're reeling out here, by the way. Yeah, Fabianski, not good enough for Arsenal. Yeah, Mark Noble to be an extra in Towie. He's that old. Like, come on, mate, off you go.
Yo, that's the captain. You can't talk about Nobes like that. Come on, put some respect on his name.
Hurt Corey to his core.
It hurts me. Do you know what hurts me more? Is when, I don't know, you probably, because West Ham is doing well this season. End of last season, Moyes is throwing him. Mate, you're done in that top corner. But look, he was throwing Nobes on the pitch, and he was saying, didn't know what to do with him. So going, go on, press as a number 10. There's nothing more sad than watching Noble trying to press, knowing he full well hasn't got it in his locker. So I'm happy in a way that he's
a legend for you, like, isn't he? He is a proper legend.
He's such a legend. But the problem is, it's like, even he did a video yesterday, and he was talking about the values of the clubs and the ethics and what he wants to set. We need him in that club. When he retires, fact, because if I looked
at your squad, right? You've got 4 goalkeepers in your 25-man squad. You've got Noble, you've got Jesse Lingard, who's just been absolutely mad since he's got there, right? And 1 striker, 2 strikers, one just don't get any games in Yarmolenko. Yeah, the fact that you're even
injured and all.
He's not even a striker.
I swear Yarmolenko was a winger anyway.
He's a winger.
Yeah.
He's not a striker.
Not anymore. He ain't with this board. He's a false nine.
Yeah. By the way, you're a striker now.
You see Kai Havertz the other day ripping it up with false 9, and we've got Yarmo when we play her. It's just like.
But this is the thing. Like, look at the players you've got. Look at the squad you've got. Look at the ground. I refuse to go to your ground. Yeah, you need to take your binoculars, mate. It's just a joke. Like,
I hate it.
I refuse to go there. You've just said about the training ground. You ain't really got one. Your owners are worse than ours. Yeah. And your manager's apparently not as good as this generational one we've got.
I know what point he's going to make.
No, so how are you up there challenging? I don't get it. And we're not.
Yeah. Well, I wish I knew the answer, mate, because I still haven't got a clue why on earth we're still hanging around there. But,
Arteta's not good enough to manage Arsenal, but
if Moyes was manager of Arsenal,
you set yourself up there.
Arteta was manager of West Ham, would they be in the same positions?
Don't do this, Lee.
They wouldn't, would they?
We want an answer to that.
It's all well and good mentioning City and Man United and all them.
Lee's not asking for the title.
And Chelsea, you can't. Nobody can say nothing to. None of these trust the process merchants can say nothing to me when I mention West Ham. You can't say nothing to me. They finished 16th last season. They spent less money than we spent on Thomas Partey in the summer.
Yeah. Yep.
We've made money.
This is
we ain't even spent any money at this point. So
Corey's looking around like, what money are you talking about?
yeah, no, I think we made about 10 mil since last summer. So
do you know what's remarkable? Because obviously we touched on Mark Noble. They're coming towards the end of his I guess this will be a nice way to end the stream, but he's coming towards the end of his West Ham career. Obviously, going to probably leave. I think he announced it leaving at the end of next season.
yeah,
For all the world-class players that have come through your academy, obviously Mark Noble wouldn't be one of them. You've had Ferdinand. You've had. It's true.
I didn't say it up.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah,
You say world class.
Get that out of the way very
World class
early, right?
players.
He always turns up for Spurs, so that's the main thing.
Your Ferdinand, your Lampard, whatever. But he's the one guy that actually just stayed. Do you know what I mean? I think the loyalty that he's shown you guys is what propels him to that legendary status.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen a lot of managers, legends like Arteta at Arsenal. I just had to drop that in there just to see Lee's reaction. Lampard.
So where are you going with this? You're saying Mark Noble, future West Ham manager? Is that what you're trying to
I'm just saying, in the future, do you see those
don't let that happen, mate. If you have any say whatsoever, just don't let it. You look at Pirlo last night, yeah?
Oh my god, yeah, totally.
He's don't do it.
That's the problem, innit? Like we've never the closest, and he wasn't even a big player for us with Bilic when he come back, and it was great for a season at the Bowling because he just gets the club, and I think. You've got to protect Noble a little bit. I think if he's in and around the club, that's more than. But I don't think he's that interested in coaching. From what I understand, I don't think because he lives and breathes West Ham and he lives and breathes the club. I don't think he's going to put himself as a fan and as a former player and captain under that type of. And I don't think it put us in a really difficult position where even if he did come manager, not under this ownership, because I mean you're talking about throwing one of your legends under the bus. That's exactly what they would do and. Yeah, but maybe he'll be around academy. I think that's what he wants to do, coaching around the scenes. And we've got a couple of ex-players. We've got Kevin Nolan there as well. So I'm not averse to it. But
why don't you hire him in the canteen to make some pie and mash?
Oh
man. This super chat here. The problem is we sell our best players to top 4 teams. We then buy their old players, thinking they will elevate. To our transfer business is broken. I mean, that is facts. I mean, the fact that Sanya, Nasri, Fabregas, I mean, we can go on and on about Van Persie, big players that have left Arsenal, Clichy for free or for a little bit of money as well. And then now we're looking at you guys getting Willian and David Luiz and expecting the earth to move. It just doesn't
Petr Cech back then as well.
Petr Cech, yeah. That was
giving you Ashley Cole for William Gallas. Jesus Christ. Yeah. What was that all about? Like, It's the same old shit with us, though. But this is the thing. Arsenal tried to do everything on the cheap. Bruv, today, they have announced that there is now yet another edition of training kits coming out.
I saw it.
What, for this season?
Yes.
Yep.
Bruv, the T-shirt is 85 fucking quid. Oh, it's wavy, I can't lie. But it's 85
You bought it, didn't you? You bought it.
No, I'm going to buy it. I will buy it.
It looks good, though, but typical. And that's the thing with Arsenal. They distract your fan. They try to distract your fan base from the shambles on the pitch by turning out these training kits. Oh, don't focus on the league position.
We've got the waviest kits in the league, bruv, but we've got the worst fucking team and the worst manager. And to be fair, like this has got to be part of the contract that we signed with Adidas, yeah? Because there's no way every month we can drop. Like, how ironic that the other week we got rid of Mesut Ozil after the whole China comments thing, yeah? And then the very next week or the next day, we dropped the Chinese New Year edition of the training gear. Like, come on, yeah? Like, we must have more training stuff dropped this season than we've had wins. We lost 3-0 to Aston Villa. The very next day, they're tweeting out, come and get your new Christmas edition merch.
That's what makes me laugh so much, though, because it could be going to pot at Arsenal, and then the next day they'll just release the brand new
you guys.
Shirt. That's because the admin's a Southampton fan.
Yeah,
he doesn't read it. Doesn't read the situation at all. You can tell.
You guys are the master of PR. Like you'll draw to Burnley, and then it's like. Next day, Aubameyang's on Twitch Q&A asking questions.
Exactly.
I'm just like, where is the logic here? This super chat says, how much did party song costly? I have no idea, bro. Lee, do you know how much the cost?
You know what the saddest thing about it is? What we doing is granddad shuffle.
Party time.
You know what the saddest thing is?
That song coming out, that told me just how low expectations your family had, because you allowed your board to mug you off the whole summer, and then they leave the party signing until the end when they could have had it wrapped up at the beginning, because they know if they wrap that deal up early, then your fans get over it in a week and then they start demanding for more, because they know that you need more players. It's not just party. They delay it until the end of the window, so then when it comes, it's like this big carnival and there's celebrations and confetti. They're doing songs, they're doing dances.
Yeah, and they're like, "Why? That was nice. We got them again."
Brilliant. Forgetting that they actually needed more players. It's hilarious to me.
That's when the song came out. I knew from the get-go. His first game, only Arsenal. This is only Arsenal that do this. Yeah, it's a home game against Leicester. They walked out to that song.
Oh
no!
Really?
Did they actually
beat us 1-0?
Cringe, so cringe. I remember at the time I said this. I said this at the time. I said this is embarrassing the way that your fan base is going on about this signing, and I was told, "Oh, you don't know anything. Oh, it's because Arsenal have so much culture. It's this." I said it's embarrassing, and it was the same thing when you remember when Aubameyang signed that new contract. All the palaver when he signed the new contract, throwing up Instagram lives and all this. It was just
with the little timer and all that.
Like people they made this whole song and dance about it. It was so cringe, getting all the club legends and stuff. I'm like, bruv, this is just a player signing a new contract. Why are you going through all this drama?
Not a trophy, nothing like that. Imagine if these guys win a Premier League ever again. What are we gonna get?
Yeah, it will be.
You never really end of it with our fans.
It'll be disgusting.
Let me share the screen with you. Yeah. Right, because I just want you to see how much of a rip-off this football club is. Yeah,
go on.
How do I do it? You'll have to add it in, I think.
Yeah. You just go to share and then I'll be able to add it in.
Right, watch this. Yeah, this is an absolute disgrace. Yeah, but people will buy it because that's how it rolls. Right, there we go. Can you see that? If you added it in, yeah. Right, look at this. Yeah.
Oh wow,
good, bro. It looks good.
Look how wavy that is. That top, yeah. That hoodie is 100 quid.
That's a joke.
100 quid for that. That t-shirt's 85 quid, I think. Yeah, let me have a look. Yeah, look. Yeah, the hoodie is 100 quid, bruv. Look at that. That's an absolute disgrace. £100.
The poncho looks sick, though. I like the poncho.
I
like the poncho and the slider.
130
It is a disgrace, though, to be charging 100 quid.
Yeah, look at this. Look. 85 quid for that t-shirt, bruv. Look. It's just a regular t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's not that if that is more expensive than the football kit, the football shirt. Like how
what is 424 as well? I don't get it. Is it
65 quid for a bag?
But this is what's happening now. Clubs are getting greedy, right? Because they've already gone used to.
Look at what they've done. Look at what they've done. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, the 424. Right, and this is how they've marketed it. Yeah. Adidas and Arsenal present a limited edition collaboration with LA streetwear brand 424. So the way they've done it is from LA to Highbury or something, or LA to fucking nowhere. Like it's just from LA to N5. That's what they put. LA to M5. Absolute wasters.
Do you know what?
Seriously, man.
Do you know what as well? I think football clubs are getting very greedy because we used to only they used to change home kit every 2 years. You know, and they changed the away kit every other year in between that, just so you had some sort of consistency with the kits. Now it's it's just normal. They changed all 3 kits every single year, regardless. If you've bought the kit, just know it's absolutely extinct the year after. Now they're bringing out it's not. Then it was
the best kit Arsenal have ever done. Yeah, and we had that kit for 2 seasons.
Yeah,
but then when they wanted to drop it again, it was 85 quid.
And the thing is, and then they bring out the training gear and all that stuff, and that's fine. Now they're not just bringing out training gear; they're bringing out stuff that's not actually going to be worn by the players, but it's got the badge on, it's got the Adidas, and then it's collaboration. I just think to myself, it's just nuts.
If you go on Arsenal website, right, and you go through their store and just go to training, bruv, it's an absolute disgrace. Yeah, there's literally just there's hundreds of shit, bruv. Like literally hundreds. Like it's not like the old days where you could just, like you said, buy 2 kits but there'd be alternate one. So you'd have it for 2 years, but then in the second year, the new home kit had come out, and you'd have that for 2 years, and in the second year, the new away kit's out. Yeah, you don't do that anymore. It's literally, if you want to buy every single top, yeah, I've got loads of them, but I ain't got all of them. I ain't even bought half of the stuff this season. Yeah, if I wanted to buy all of it, I'd probably do about $5,500.
Probably.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, man. And there's people out there that will buy it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's mad. It's an absolute fucking disgrace. The thing is, people say to me, "Oh, well, you shouldn't buy it." But my missus bought loads for Christmas and stuff like that, and birthdays and stuff. So it's not like I'm doing it myself. But you know, like, I just think the money that Adidas have paid him, it must be part of the deal. It must be.
Oh yeah, 100% to release new kits and to.
And then the club only get about 5% of the money
when
anyway.
a new kit comes out, business-wise, that's a spike. Everybody flocks to it. Then it starts to trickle off as the season goes on. Everybody's kind of, and then Christmas it will spike again, and then it will trickle off again. Now it's March. Let's get a spike. Do you know what I'm saying? That's basically what it is.
And plus with Corona as well. Because of the Corona as well, they're going to take the piss with it for the next couple of years. And then what they do is, because they took the piss with it for the next couple of years, they'll take the piss with it even more after that, because it'll be the norm.
Yeah. I know we've got to wrap up as well, because I know you've got a show at half. I'll just quickly get some predictions on the games coming up. Obviously, big games coming up for everyone involved here. I've got Leeds away. Corey's got Man United away on Sunday, which is going to be very interesting. Obviously, the fantastic North London derby for the two of you there. I mean,
the best derby in the league.
100%. None of this Mickey Mouse fucking Stamford Bridge derby.
The best derby in the league.
They're just a bus stop in Fulham, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
That bus stop in
that's
Fulham,
all you lot are.
You wish you were that bus stop. You wish you was that bus stop in Fulham, trust me. What's your predictions? We'll start with you, Toby, for your North London derby. Surely it must be a win, isn't it?
No, I think it's going to end the draw, you know. I think it's going to end
you're being nice.
I'm being apprehensive, yes, because when I've been too cocky and confident in the past, I've been burnt severely twice, 2 years back to back. So I'm not doing it again. We can't take, as poor as Arsenal have done in parts this season, generally, from a footballing point of view, they're playing better than they were in the first half of the season. So when we played them at home last year, in November, I knew no matter what, we were winning that game. No matter what, we could play any way we wanted to, we were going to win that game. This time around, I feel like we need to be a bit more deliberate in our approach and a bit more offensive in our approach as well. And I just don't think we do too well at that ground. I think, what is it, like one win in like 25, 26 years? We've come.
It's stupid, yeah.
Something crazy. Like we've been in.
It's now because this manager's breaking all sorts of records.
You could do the double, isn't it, this season?
Potentially, yeah. But we've heard the amount of times we've heard Spurs power shift. Oh, Spurs, this is the best chance to beat Arsenal. I kid you not, I've heard that about 6-7 years now, and we've never done it. We've not done it since
pressure on a few times.
So it's not. It tells you that it's not an easy game. So for me, I'm going for a score draw. I think it's going to end 2-2, but we can win.
Arsenal do usually turn up for this fixture, to be fair to them. I mean, Lee, what are you predicting here? Because I mean, surely you guys will turn up for the biggest fixture of your season.
Depends what happens tomorrow. Europa League. Depends what happens. If we're out of it on night one of the two legs, then we're going to have to go for it. But we've got to go for it anyway. It's a derby. But do you know where I worry with this club?
Yeah.
Is that these players only turn up when they feel like it. And I think that they're going to try more for the Europa League, which is their only hope now, more so than the North London derby, which is why, as much as I'd love us to win, I don't see us winning. I think it'd be a draw as well.
Oh, you guys are sitting on the fence. I like it.
Yeah, one apiece. But don't get it twisted. I would not be surprised if they hammer us.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. But
we have enough to win. Whether we will do it is a different question.
I think someone will win, but I don't actually know who, because Arsenal do usually turn up for these games. Just before we get to the Man United game and then Chelsea, Switz says, Drogba, Henry, Di Canio, Harry Kane, rank these. You are taking the piss to be asking this question now, aren't you?
We're going to start holding this question.
Imagine asking this question.
Henry's first. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, Henry's first. Henry's first.
Yeah,
if we're talking who's a better player, a better striker,
then I'll go Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. But people would say DJ Drogba scored in finals, and he did. He was clutch. But Harry Kane was more
miles
consistent striker and a better player. He is. He is.
No, Harry Kane is a better player. No, technically 100% I agree. But Drogba, for me,
the trophies, right?
It's the moments, man. Like,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if Harry Kane doesn't leave Tottenham, his career is not even close to Drogba's. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah, but we're not talking career. We're talking who's the better player. The player.
Exactly.
Player.
It doesn't matter about trophies. Trophies don't rank.
I mean, he did just say rank them. He didn't say what.
No, but the thing is, I'd like to think that when you're not being an annoying Chelsea wanker, Matisse, you can be a rational fan. Do you get what I'm saying? So put your rational.
I am rational. I'm always giving Henry his props.
I'm talking about Henry. I'm talking about the next guy down, bro.
Kane's a better footballer, and it says rank these. It's not saying ranking titles or trophies. Because if
rank them on ability
or trophies, Bellerin's the best right back in the league on trophies.
Like, yeah, like his one. Didier Drogba is better. Oh, sorry, there's an echo there. Yeah, Didier Drogba is a better big game player
than all of them.
The trophies he won than Henry. I think he scored in more finals or whatever. He's nowhere near Thierry Henry's quality as a player. Nowhere near. So that puts my point into perspective that yes, Drogba was the man for the moment, but if I'm ranking who's a better player, Henry's better than him and Harry Kane's better than him.
Yeah. Sure.
I didn't say Di Canio's better than him.
The only reason why I bring it up is because all the best defenders.
Di Canio's even better than him.
Drogba was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, he was. Drogba was a beast. Drogba was a beast. He was.
And
right, Corey, they're getting on you in the comments, Corey. They're saying the West Ham guy is so quiet.
Because I said when this question come up, this isn't fair. You can't start throwing Drogba, Henry, and Kane at me and then go, "Is Di Canio, who's got like a lot less goals." I've got to stick my neck out on the line and say Di Canio's a better player than Drogba, but that hurts.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Nah.
Yeah, 100%.
No.
Di Canio,
man. Di Canio. Some of the goals, mate.
Nah,
because then we're gonna start doing Adel Taarabt was better technically than Drogba as well. It's like, what are we doing?
Overall,
in this chat.
Overall player. Didier Drogba could play though. He could create goals.
This is the thing.
He could score goals. He was a really good facilitator. Physically, he was a problem. Like he was quality. He could score free kicks, score all sorts of heroic. Nah, man. No way on earth.
Chelsea fans are getting hot.
Yeah, what's that got to do with anything?
Yeah, I thought we said
Neymar won a Champions League with PSG. No, he won one with Barcelona. What's your point? Like, what's your point? Thierry Henry never won one. He's better than all the players on the list. Yeah. In fact, Olivier Giroud is a better striker than Drogba.
Oh my God, Toby! Look at this comment from Andres Christensen.
Did Christensen even play against us?
He did. Yeah, he came on at half time. Yeah, you kept.
I didn't even notice. Like, that's what I'm saying.
And then the Man United West Ham predictions. Just quickly, let's wrap up. I mean, Corey, what's your prediction scoreline wise for that?
Well, it's a problem because Lingard ain't playing, so it's going to be a little bit tricky. But I reckon 1-0. I don't think United are that good. I know they played well against City. They are not. Then they were struggling, so I'm going to take it out of it because that's Ollie's game every season, isn't it, against Pep? So I think Moisey's got to go there and do a bit of a job. To be fair, and I think he gets to Old Trafford and he starts flapping a bit. So. But fingers crossed. A draw. I just need a draw, and then we can get to Arsenal and Wolves, and then hopefully win them. So.
I say West Ham need to go and win that game if they want to.
You think?
That's got that. Yeah, 100%. Man United are absolutely dreadful.
Yeah. Matisse, I honestly think we got Leicester coming up. If they're still in and around there, I think that's another game, and then I think Chelsea as well. I think we can compete with Chelsea, albeit you're in sort of good form. So I'm more concerned about momentum. I'm not in. I just don't want to lose. If we don't lose, we just carry on. Someone's going to drop eventually. So.
Trust me, it's a game you can definitely win though, because Man United are absolutely dreadful to watch.
We just got to go for it. We got a mentality thing about it.
Man United can beat West Ham though. West Ham can get a result there, but Man United.
Of course, yeah. I think it's a very 50-50 game.
Man United to beat West Ham. I remember that game you lot played at your ground, London Stadium. You lot were all over them in the first half. Created enough to be like 3-4 goals up.
We should have won that game. It's ridiculous. I can't believe it.
I don't think you should have because you missed everything under the sun, and in the second half they destroyed you. They picked you off.
Oh no, wait. They deserve to win, but if West Ham had been a bit more clinical, then
yeah,
you know,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, had you taken your chances, there wouldn't have even been a second half for them to come back into.
I'm predicting a Chelsea win, obviously, on my side against Leeds. I think Leeds, whenever they come up against top teams right now, they're not really preparing for them properly. They just start playing their own brand of football and leave themselves exposed defensively. Someone said I have a massive hate for Manchester United. Well, obviously, I don't like them. That's why I'm a Chelsea supporter. I don't know why, guys. I don't know why, like, people criticize me for hating United, Toby for hating Chelsea, Lee for hating whoever he hates. That's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
Do you want me to like United? And on top of that, I could be incredibly sarcastic and sneery, right, towards Man United fans. And I could say, Ollie's the best thing since sliced bread. You should keep him. And I could go on the Big Six and be so sarcastic about the way I talk about Man United and say that they're a great team and gas up everybody and say, yeah, I know you're not playing great football, but you're second. I could do that, but I actually have standards for your club. Like, when I watched Man United, I remember Berbatov. I remember Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo, Carrick, Scholes. So if you want me to be sarcastic and take the piss, I'll do it. No problem. But I actually have standards, unlike most of you Man United fans. So if you don't have standards, that's your business. If you want to be celebrating Man City doing the win at the Etihad, even though you're about to lose the title to them again, you do you. Cool. But I have standards across the board. If you don't, pack up your shit and leave. Don't have to have standards. That's your thing. But I have standards. I'll be sarcastic next Big Six show. I promise. Toby will go in there and be so sarcastic. I'm telling you, you Man United fans are going to wish you never calling me out for an agenda against Man United. I will go in there so sarcastic. You are going to hate me on Friday. That's all I have to say to you. That was the last time now. You're going to hate me. People, I will see you next week. Again, obviously Wednesday, 1 p.m. Obviously, I'll be back tomorrow. All you can eat Chelsea at 11 a.m. Toby, let them know where they can find you, bro.
TapinTobs on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram if you like more of my thoughts, or if you just want an argument, just follow me anyway, and you can get into it. Yeah.
Lee, where can they find you, bro?
Oh dear. Hopefully they don't find me. Lee Gunner, YouTube. Literally going to be live in about 3 minutes. I'm going to go for a cigarette and I'll be live. It's already set up. Lee Gunner 82 on Insta, Twitter, Twitch. I've got Discord. That link's in the description of my videos. OnlyFans.
Who's watching your OnlyFans, bro?
Oh, Rav, I keep saying to the missus, let's get OnlyFans. I'm joking.
I know you're on all platforms, but that is just taking it to another level.
No.
Lee Gunner on all platforms, literally.
Lee up dark.
And then Corey, where can they find you, bro?
West Ham Way YouTube channel, and then Corey Kemp _ on Twitter.
Love that. Well, people, links are in the descriptions for everyone's channels. Make sure you go and subscribe. West Ham Way, Liga, and TapinTobs as well. Make sure you're subscribed here. You're going to be back next week again. Like I said, normal time resumes for this show. Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Tobes has definitely got his energy back after some wins. That's what we're trying to see. And we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow 11 a.m. All you can eat Chelsea in a bit, people. Peace.
I'll take her out.